Hello, I'm Superintendent Shay James. I want to extend a personal welcome to Convocation and the start of the 2021-22 school year. Like new beginnings, it's an opportunity to reflect on where we have been and look forward to where we are heading. New beginnings offer hope. Hope that comes through reflection, renewal, restoration, and revitalization. And that starts by knowing who we are and knowing our purpose. We are 2,076 employees. We have 4 employee groups, and we range from staff starting year 1 with North Clackamas School District to one starting year 45 in our district. We speak over 40 different languages, and we're from many different countries and cultures. We are 31 schools strong. We are one North Clackamas School District staff. We are one district, all linked together, and our mission remains constant. In North Clackamas, we prepare graduates who are inspired and empowered to strengthen the quality of life in our local and global communities. That's what brings us together, our students. And in just a few short days, we will be welcoming all 17,253 of them back to school. North Clackamas School District is supported by leaders who support and uplift our staff. In the spirit of welcome, I'd like to turn to our school board chair, Libra Ford, North Clackamas Education Foundation Chair, Stephanie Rose, OSEA President, April Bianconi, NCEA President, Melinda Ryan, and NCAA President, Emily Buchanan, for their words of welcome.
Hi everybody, welcome back to the school year of history. We all have endured something together, and that endurance, that perseverance, and that ability for us to overcome is what makes us community. And as a community, we're gonna go into this year with some wonderful opportunities, first and foremost for our kids to be back together and learning with you at the helm. Super excited for all of us to be at this moment, super excited for all the things that we've been through, and I'm more excited to see how our kids can show us the way to the future. Have a great year.
Hello everyone, I'm Stephanie Rose, Executive Director of the North Clackamas Education Foundation. I'm excited to be here starting another school year with you all. The last couple of years have certainly had some unique challenges for us, and I'm proud of the way our community has come together to overcome those obstacles. This community has a special place for me, as not only is it my home now, but I grew up here. My parents went to school in North Clackamas schools, as did I, and now my children have had the opportunity to be a part of this amazing school district. My oldest 2 have graduated from Rex Putnam High School, and my youngest is starting her sophomore year at Milwaukee Academy of the Arts. I'm so proud of them and everyone that has had a hand in making their education a success. My affinity for this community is why I'm so honored to be a part of the North Clackamas Education Foundation. For the last 30 years, the North Clackamas Education Foundation has strove for equity in education by supporting the students, teachers, and families of North Clackamas schools. This last year, we awarded more than $30,000 in classroom enrichment grants, more than $89,000 in scholarships to the class of 2021, and more than $90,000 to the Family Support Center, Middle School Enrichment, Ready, Set, Go, emergency housing, and others. As we begin this new year, I look forward to being able to support all of you. At the time of this recording, we are already reviewing our first round of grant applications, and by the time you see this, they have probably already been awarded. So congratulations to those who have already received grants from us this year, and for the rest of you, keep your eyes out around late December for our next application round. We'd love to get you the funding that you need for your students. I look forward to working with all of you to make this year the best it can possibly be. Welcome back to a new school year.
Good morning, I'm April Bianconi, and I'm the OSEA Chapter 71 President for Classified Employees. Welcome back, classified staff, and to our new members, welcome to North Clackamas School District and OSEA. We know that many of you have worked all summer long, and we thank you very much for your commitment and dedication to the students, staff, families, community, and the school district. We know this year is not completely devoid of anxiety or uncertainty, but know that your union is here to advocate for you and for all employees. We are currently negotiating with the district the impact on employees' working conditions with the recent mandates and decisions that were made, and we will keep employees informed of these changes. We also recently came to an agreement with the district on July 1st and were able to secure the following: an increase and steps on the wage schedule, annual longevity stipends for employees who have worked here for longer than 10 years, an increase in base life insurance to $12,000, and a district contribution match-up of $25 a month for members who choose to participate in the voluntary retirement plans. The more people we have involved in the union as members, the clearer the message is to the district that we have the fullest support of our membership at the bargaining table when we enter negotiations in 2022. Again, welcome back to school. We are looking forward to connecting with employees, students, and families in the coming weeks, and there is no other group of dedicated individuals that I would rather be working with or walking with. Thank you very much, and let's have a great year.
Hey everyone, welcome back. As we head into a new school year, there are some things I'm really looking forward to. First and foremost, it's seeing my colleagues in person again. Hey Sunnyside! I'm also really excited about the fact that we get to instruct students in person full-time this year. Also, NCEA has been busy planning member engagement for the year, and our Educators of Color Affinity group is preparing to welcome new members to its ranks. There are going to be some really exciting things happening this year. On the other hand, there are some things that I find really difficult to accept this fall. The fact that we're starting yet another school year while a pandemic rages around us is both disheartening and frightening. Knowing that students will experience interruptions to their instruction due to their own or their teachers' quarantines is stressful, and it worries me. There are so many things that are out of our control, and I find it overwhelming. So I was thinking that maybe this is the year that we focus on the things that we can control, like our ability to reach out. Find your people, check in on them, listen to them, talk to them, be there. Maybe it's that you laugh and cry together, maybe it's that you celebrate and rage together, but whatever it is, be together so we can come through this and say that we did it together at the end. Have an awesome year, everybody.
Good morning, I'm Emily Behunin. On behalf of NCAA, we'd like to welcome everyone back to school. It's exciting to be back with colleagues and even welcome all the new staff to our North Clackamas community. As we begin to plan for the next school year, yeah, there's still some uncertainties, but together we are stronger than ever. Last year, each of us found out how resilient we could be as individuals and as a school district. Each and every one of you discovered new skills and strengths in yourself. And now we're moving forward, planning together and healing together. Part of moving forward is remembering that joy in education. When you see that student make a new friend, show pride in their work. Even ride the bus for the first time. As you look forward, I hope you can find the love and joy you have in your job. Maybe it's back being with colleagues or just being with our community. We will be successful if we work together, continue to support each other, but also remember to take care of yourself. As I think about the last 18 months, I am in awe of the leadership we have here in North Clackamas. We saw innovation, individuals pushing themselves to try new things, and always the focus on putting students first. It is this type of leadership that will continue to help our students grow and change for the better. Leadership and love is also part of our equity work. Together we can support each and every student to feel included and to elevate their strengths. We have a role and responsibility in creating an environment for students to be successful and accepted. And I am proud of the work we do here at North Clackamas and know we will continue to make positive changes together. Thank you for your commitment and dedication. Together we can make a difference. Have a great school year.
As part of the latest construction bond, our community voted to build our 4th comprehensive high school, and a committee led our district community in naming the school. Courage, fortitude, strength, and hope. These are 4 words embodied by Oregon Supreme Court Justice Adrienne C. Nelson, for whom our school is named. She is a living legend and a trailblazer for justice and what is right in the world. I am honored to enter this school year with words of wisdom from Justice Nelson.
Hello, my name is Adrienne Nelson, and I have a high school name for me in North Clackamas High School, the Adrienne C. Nelson High School. I'd like to welcome you to the school and to the North Clackamas School District, because this is a place where you can be celebrated, nurtured, encouraged, and grow into the people that you are supposed to be. Not only will the students be transformed by being in this school and district, so are the staff and the teachers and the administrators. As a person who grew up in public education, I know that this journey can be successful for you. And I want you to explore, embrace, and take in all that can come for you. I believe that you are exactly as you are, supposed to be, and that you are going to do great things. I know that this is going to be an environment where you can also look at new things, experience new things, experience old things, and have those connections deepen with those that you have met and the new people you will meet. I hope that we can all create a better Oregon, as was talked about in the poem at the grand opening. So what's most important for you to know starting this school year is that you are starting from a place and going to a new place. And in between those two places is all that you're going to experience this school year. You'll leave that next school year and build upon it. It is really important to understand that you are part of the transformation of this community, of this district, of this state, of this world. Welcome back.
As Justice Nelson has said, students matter. They are exactly who they are supposed to be, and school is where they should belong. They all arrive to us from different places. We all do. For some, NCSD has been a childhood home where they raise their family and a place to build their careers. For others, this place is new and still unknown. We each come from different places, and we each have our part in the North Clackamas story. Anis Mushgani, Oregon's Poet Laureate, speaks about just this, that we each come from somewhere, and we have all arrived here, to this place, at this time, together. Anis performed this poem at the grand opening of Adrian C. Nelson High School and wrote it for our community. His inspiration came from Justice Nelson and her journey, and he wrote it while walking the beautiful trails in our North Clackamas community.
Come from something. Come from somewhere. Whether Garden, Arkansas, or Portland, Oregon, whether 2,000 neighbors or 2 million, coast or city, cul-de-sac, apartment building, rooftop, parking lot, or fir trees quietly singing. Come, whether whole or broken, or like most of us, breathing our best somewhere between those two places. Come from someplace to come together. Come from something which you already do, and then go. Those are the two tasks before you. To come from someplace and to go with yourself towards another. Half of this is already done. You can do nothing but succeed in circling the two halves of your wholeness together. Tiger-toed and rabbit-footed, antelope in your heart, antelope in the grass, sun-beamed even when masked, moonlit lit in the dark, feasting on blackberries at midnight and grapes in the crusting light of your heart. Fill the jug in your hands with your own ripeness. Fill the jug in your chest to the very brim and carry it across your threshold and over the threshold of others. Carry yourself like you are carrying something precious, not fragile, but precious, of importance, for you are. Carry yourself in the way you may wish to carry others, and carry others in the way that you may wish others might carry you. Tiger-toed and rabbit-footed, antelope-hearted, dormouse gentle, and ant strong. And if you find your heart made of something soft, cup it gently, and gently again push it into a soft ground that it might grow and push upward from out the earth, blooming to bring forth the blooming of others. And if you find your heart made of something hard, hammer it then into something of a shape to turn the earth, tilling the seeds within it, that they should crack themselves open as all things do under a gift of light and water. Both ways lead to stewarding in of springtime. All paths do. With softness, with hard, with sun, with rain. May the day awaken you. May the night do the same. May the smell of citrus at dawn carry itself to you. May any bird you see threading its shadow across the moon thread itself too across your round, bright heart. May the world conspire with that heart to make both better than they were in the morning before. May that heart scheme with the evening to both be gentler. You come from someplace, and from it you will go to someplace. Oh, the songs you might hear, the songs you will sing, the songs you must share, the songs you must share.
I hope Anissa's words inspire you as much as they inspire me. We arrive and we go, the two things we can do. We come from some place, come together and go, with yourself towards another. As Robin Sharma says, every person you meet has a lesson to teach, a story to tell, and a dream to share. With that in mind, I'd like to introduce you to 4 of our North Clackamas colleagues that have stories to share.
My parents are amazing people, but I don't feel like education in my house was actually a thing, like a goal. I didn't ever really realize that you go and you graduate and you go to college. I never ever felt like that was an option for me. I wasn't a good student either. I feel like I took a long way around just in life in general with not feeling like high school was important. I dropped out, got my GED, and went to beauty college when I was 16. I started hanging out with people that weren't the best influences for me. I ended up dropping out a couple months before I was going to graduate, and I ended up being homeless. My parents kicked me out because of my shenanigans. I didn't really get my act together till I turned 19, when I got pregnant with my first child. Somewhere in the middle of my pregnancy, I really realized that I was going to be a parent and be taking care of another human being, and I needed to get my act together. I was fortunate to be a stay-at-home mom for a couple years, but then I needed to get out into the workforce and start working. I guess I did odd jobs as a stay-at-home mom, like babysitting, and I did preschool for other kids. I worked at an apartment complex and cleaned up after people moved out, cleaned the apartments. I did a variety of different jobs that weren't really lumped into a category or going one direction. I think what I can say about the jobs I had, there was always some aspect of cleaning though. I had applied to be a substitute custodian with North Clackamas. At that time, my stepmom was a custodian for our district. Got hired January 2008, and I've been here ever since. I was hired on as a substitute custodian. I then moved into a night custodian and then the custodial coordinator, and I wanted to do more and I wanted to move further, so I did enroll in a program with University of the Pacific and received my certificate in leadership and supervisory skills. Today I'm the custodial supervisor. This has been my journey and this is my path that led me here. I feel very fortunate to be here. The custodians, the maintenance, the ground staff, these are my family. They're my home away from home. And I love my job and I love the people I work with. I do feel like I've came full circle. Cleaning's always been a huge part of my life, starting with my childhood up till now, and it's just really cool to be able to teach and help other people. I do feel like it's important for people to know that I did get somewhere and realize that I wanted to do more to progress.
So I ask you, what was your path? What brought you here? I think back on my own personal journey and know there were pivotal moments and impactful people who brought me here. Those are clear memories for me, memories of moments and people who shaped the path that I am on today. It is because of them that I became who I am, and it is because of them that I am here today in education. And education is more than a job or career, it's a lifelong passion. So as you think about what brought you here, think also about why you are here.
Hi, my name is Misha. I identify as a Black biracial woman, and I am a first-generation graduate. And that has been a really huge thing for me and my family. I have always wanted to do well in school, and I just kept pushing myself. I wanted to be a doctor at first. Then I just started to take some education courses and found out that teaching was my passion. And then I started taking more courses about race and identity and really found that that is where I wanted to go forth with my education and my own teachings. The reason that I absolutely find equity and justice and identity super important in my life and something to teach is because when I was in elementary school and other school as well, just growing up in education, I had no people of color as a teacher. Yes, I was able to find teachers that I adored and could connect with, but there was never a teacher who really got me on an identity level. So I never had a Black teacher, never had anybody of color. And then it was in 3rd grade when I first got bullied and was attacked because of my name and my race. I'm a Black girl with a Russian name. Didn't sit well with a lot of people, and so then I was attacked. And so when I am not able to go to somebody and be around someone who can vouch for me, someone who can really speak to me, no other teacher was really there for me at that time. My mom had to come in and she had to get them to actually do something, and the only thing that they did after punching and kicking and hitting and throwing me into the mud, the only thing they got was a loss of recess, and they had to formally apologize. That was the only thing. And I never want my students to ever have those feelings, ever. I think that my experience and my story can really push forward into what other students are really identifying with. And hopefully that can help them to grow and help them see that I'm a real person too. I've had these experiences, and hopefully we can just move forward in just this fight for justice and make sure that everyone is treated in some sort of way that they feel seen and heard. Through my experiences and through my story, I found my way to North Clackamas, who had a strong equity statement, and I really wanted to push myself. And once I got my teaching job at Lotwickham Elementary, everything just started to fall into place. I wanted to be about it. I wanted to actually put the statement into action, not just say that we do it. I wanted to ensure that we did. My hope is to be able to continue having conversations in the classroom about race, equity, and justice, specifically because I know many different schools across the country are hoping to diminish those conversations. So my hope for myself and this district is to make sure that we are having those conversations, though uncomfortable, very necessary, very vital for our future.
Inspiration can be found both in finding our path and in finding our purpose. For some, the road signs led us here, and for others, the path is less straightforward. And life is full of challenges. When challenges arise, we can see them as obstacles, things that stop us from moving forward, or things that take us away from what it is we are really seeking. Challenges can also lead to new opportunities, and with courage, we can meet those opportunities and create a great impact, even if we don't realize it at that time. Each one of us has the power to make a difference.
My name is Terry Davidson, and I work for North Clackamas Transportation, and I'm in charge of field trips along with my partner Debbie. And my journey to North Clackamas began many years ago. Loved being around children, and so I got really involved in the PTA with my children's school, and I ended up becoming the legislative representative. So I would go down to the Capitol and meet with Governor Kitzhaber about things that we needed to do. So then years later, when my kids were older, I decided to open my own daycare. And so I opened the daycare, and then of course it collapsed. The thought of not being around kids anymore was going to be very sad for me because I love being around kids. Two of my clients that I had were bus drivers for North Clackamas. And so when the economy crashed and I lost most of my clients, they said, well, hey, come be a bus driver. And I thought, there is no way I can drive one of those buses. And they're like, yes, you can, yes, you can. So I applied and got the job and just fell in love with it. One student stuck out to me in particular, and I remember him to this day. And I'd only been driving for probably a year and a half. And he was one of those students that nobody wanted on their bus. Everybody tried to get him off their bus. He was just terrible. But for some reason, him and I clicked. And he told me his whole life story, which was heart-wrenching. And I drove him all through high school. And he was a handful. He was a handful. But he was always respectful to me. And we got along great. I would help him with his homework. He would get on the bus and discuss, he would read his speeches to me, and we became pretty close. And then the day came when he was going to graduate. And after several years of heartbreak with this student, he got on the bus and he waited for everybody to get off when we got to the school. And he said, I just want you to know that without you, I never would have graduated. I would have dropped out a long time ago. And that moment, I realized one person can make a difference, even a bus driver. And from that moment on, I have loved my job and can't imagine doing anything else in my life.
It's true. Each one of us can and do make a difference in the lives of the students we serve. We are drawn to this work for different reasons, and what unites us is our students. We make a difference for our students each and every day with each bus ride, each good morning, each hello, each breakfast and lunch, and each supportive word in the classroom and hallways, and every afternoon when we say goodbye. Whether we know they are watching or not, they are looking at us to be there for them, to support them, to teach them, and to challenge them, to advocate for them, and to do what is right.
I'm Robert Blake, High School Success Coordinator for the North Clackamas School District. Moved here in 1979 as a 9-year-old little black boy. My first experience with education in the Portland area was for the first 2 weeks of 3rd grade. I was attending a school where over half the staff and half of the student population looked like me. 2 weeks into the school year, I was told that the following day I'd be getting on a bus to be going to a new school. Not having any idea of what this school looked like, what the community represented, I got on that bus. Later to find out that I was one of the last cohorts in Portland Public Schools as they were working on integration. My first experience in that new school was something that some of you may be able to relate to. I had 3 young men approach me as I went to approach the basketball court and was told I couldn't play because I didn't belong there. Not knowing who to go to, not knowing who I could trust, the only thing that I knew how to do was to fight. From there, day in and day out, I fought. No one asking me, what's going on? What are the triggers? What do I need? All that happened from that was that as I moved away from that school, I moved into middle school, going to high school, my time in the military, my time in law enforcement. I always knew how to fight. My mission and purpose today is to continue to fight, but not just for me, for our students, for our staff, and our community. The fight will never go away in me. You know, I'm asked all the time what brought me to education, from military and law enforcement. What I can share with you is prior to me coming to education, I was working as a gang outreach specialist, and it's 2 o'clock, broad daylight. Drove into a drive-by shooting where I saw a young man take a bullet. Thinking I had enough time to get out of my vehicle and save this young man, he died in front of me. It was at that moment where I really began to think about what are we doing as a society? Why do we continue to be reactionary? When do we become proactive? When do we get in front of our youth, provide them with the opportunities, remove the barriers? And it was at that moment where I decided that I was going to education. I didn't know where I was going. I didn't know what I was going to do, but I knew I had a purpose and a mission to save our youth, and through education was how I was going to achieve that goal. You know, during my time here in the North Clackamas School District, I've had my highs and my lows. The way I combat it all is to just focus on the students. When I'm completely focused on the students, I don't get caught up in the pitfalls and roadblocks and barriers that our students generally face. It's my mission to make sure that they don't face those same barriers. It's my mission to ensure that they feel included in whatever is happening in their respective school building and in this district. They should be the focus for everything. When we keep the complete focus on our students and help them reach those obtainable goals, not only are we doing what we have been charged with doing, but we are setting up our next generation to have all of the successes that they deserve. Our kids deserve what we give them on a daily basis and so much more. And I just want to ensure that all students are getting their needs met. So as I think about my work that I've done here in the North Clackamas School District, it's like a bridge, like this very bridge that I'm walking across. And being a conduit and a connection for our students, for our families, for our staff, our community. If we're not building bridges to meet the needs of everyone that's a stakeholder within our community, then we're missing our mark. But this bridge is how the magic happens. I'm so thankful to be working alongside some of the most skilled professionals in education, to be working alongside of some of the most amazing students and families, community partners. What an honor that I've been afforded to be a part of the North Clackamas School District. On so many levels, I just want to say thank you.
Each of us has taken a path that has led us to North Clackamas. Along the way, there were pivotal moments when we persevered, had a breakthrough, or changed courses. But sometimes we forget that there were pivotal people along the way too. They blazed the trail for us, supported us, opened doors for us. They believed in us, built up our confidence, and invested in us. What they said and did has shaped our lives in profound ways. Miss Eileen Grice was one of those people for me. She was an elder in the community and close friends with my grandmother. Out of the blue, she called my grandmother one day and told her about the Portland Teachers Program, which helps students of color going into education. When my grandmother told me about it, I thought, I know I can do that. Pretty quickly after that, I decided to come back to Oregon and apply for the program. That was one of the biggest decisions of my life because it led me to education. And it wouldn't have happened without Miss Eileen Grice or Dr. Charles Hobson, who hired me for my first teaching job. He often went out of his way to make sure that I felt comfortable. Knowing I had his support helped me get through the times when I was anything but comfortable or confident. And as many of you know, as a first-year teacher, there were a lot of those times and moments. I am from pigtails, braids, and hot combs. I am from loyalty, integrity, and trust. I am from true friendship, needs no words. A dear friend sent me this I Am poem that I wrote years ago as I was starting my admin journey. They are just 3 sentences of a much longer poem, but I look forward to rewriting or adding to my story as I travel through this year. I feel so fortunate to have been helped by so many amazing people on my journey. In a way, that's why I'm so hopeful for this coming school year and the future of our district. It's because I know the staff at North Clackamas is brimming with incredible people, just like Amanda, Misha, Terry, and Robert, and all of them are here in service for our students and families. I know that for each of you, the path you've taken here was unique to you, and that those experiences have helped prepare you for the role that you play in North Clackamas. And if you can find ways through your work or in your daily life to play that supporting role in the stories of our students, I know we can deliver on our promise to them and to our community. If you can be that mentor, say those encouraging words, be that support system, open those doors, or simply let our students know that they belong in our schools, you never know how big the impact might be. I want to sincerely thank Amanda, Misha, Terry, and Robert for sharing their stories with all of us. It's not easy to do that, especially in front of such a big and large audience. As Brene Brown says, the original definition of courage was to tell the story of who you are with your whole heart. And I think that's exactly what they've done. And I'd like all of us to follow their example and share more about ourselves with our colleagues this year. Talk about the paths you've taken to get here and the why behind your work. This can only make us stronger as an organization and improve our work. The other side of the coin is listening and creating space for others to share their stories with us. That is especially important considering how difficult the past 18 months have been for all of us, our students, our families, and how fragile and fractured our community feels in these polarized times. I would also challenge you to listen deeply to the stories of our students and their families. That will help keep our work grounded in kindness, help us show up for one another, and help us care for each other. When we do that, the other things will fall into place. So tell your stories with your whole heart. Open your heart and your mind to listen to the stories of others. And find ways to play a role in the stories of our students to help them figure out where they're going and how to get there. Together, we can do this.